Yes, we're live and in full effect. This is Doc Hertz with Mr. Izzy of the Birds of a Feather. We flock together in the best of weather. And we're getting ready. My goodness, we came out of a great week. We come out of week 5 in the NFL. The Philadelphia Eagles, the leadership of that quarterback, Jalen Hurts. And we taking care of Hurts' business. So with that being said, I'm gonna let Mr. Izzy come on, introduce himself, and say whatever he got on his mind. What's going on?
What is up? What is going on? No need to fear. Izzy Hurts is here, Eagles Nation. So right now, 5-0, undefeated after beating the Cardinals. Everyone should be happy. You should be excited. So let's just let's comment, let's share, let's give your opinion. Everything is looking good. Everything is looking great, and we can't worry about the hurt haters because they are out there. So we're just going to be excited to talk to you guys, give you a review of our opinion of the Eagles versus Cardinals. So I'll be here to answer any questions and any comments you may guys have.
Okay, we're gonna talk about the 5-0. It was a ugly win, as they say, but I'd rather have an ugly win than have a pretty loss. So we're 5-0. We're the only undefeated team in the NFL, and big game is coming up Sunday. It's going to be the evening game, so all eyes are going to be on that game. It's going to be against the Dallas Cowboys, who are 4-1, and we're 5-0, and we're in the same division. So it's really going to be exciting. Anything you'd like to say about that game that took place, or anything you want to look in retrospect, or
Yeah,
talk about what happened?
I guess right now I love the fact that I'm gonna go forward and then go backwards. I saw Keyshawn Johnson. I want to give a shout out to him. He had a Jalen Hurts jersey on. He's been a big supporter, in my opinion, of late of Jalen. So I want to give Keyshawn Johnson a shout out for going on ESPN Live and just supporting him. So I'm gonna go backwards now. In the game, a lot of people have different viewpoints. My viewpoint is if I got to give a letter grade for the game and the win, I'm gonna give them about a B, a good solid B. I felt like the offense started off very good, but in the end, as Jalen left the field, he wanted to succeed more. He wanted to do more. As far as the defense is concerned, to only give up a total of 17 points, that's good. That's very good. I think the biggest mistake they were having was Kyler Murray's a good running quarterback, and I think that kind of got him a little out of place. So I think that the coaches and the coordinators got to be more mindful of that. So I'm going to give them a letter grade of a B. The special teams, that last play, they've been reviewing it, and actually that field goal attempt was actually blocked. So the defense um, tighten up on something. The offense, it was there, but let's punch it in. Let's get Jalen to throw more, and let's get him to throw more. He did have pressure. The offensive line was hurt, and that was no excuse, but you still won the game. So, from my viewpoint, I give it a B. What's your viewpoint on the game, Doctor Hurts?
Okay, well, I saw in that game there was some passes that hit guys in the hand, and they actually dropped the ball, and that's been happening with different players, but on the Eagles team. And I think if they would secure the ball to catches a lot more, it would be very. One time the biggest thing they were having the problems with the turnovers or penalties, basically, when they would do the run option mainly. But the penalties were hurting them. I mean, they were calling back touchdown, they were calling back 20-yard receptions, and that shouldn't be. So now they need to work on that, and I think focus on this game that's coming. They're going to be off till Wednesday coach told them, hey, look, won't see you till Wednesday, so they'll give them a break to spend time with their families or doing things. And I just got a feeling that, believe it or not, I don't think Jalen's gonna be one gonna be taking a lot of time off. I think he'll be up there working out because that's his personality. But anyway, we got the game coming up, and I think that's what we need to focus on. And one of the biggest things that Dallas has is that defense, that rushing of Parsons, I believe his name is. What's his
Correct.
first name? What's his first name?
Michael.
Michael Parsons, right? And so what I think they need to do with Michael Parsons is he's always rushing, the quarterback. I think every side he lines up on, they need to run the ball directly at him. If he gets lines up on the left and there's a running play, running to his side. If he lines up on the right, running to his side. Because I know he's a great rusher, but when you got the greats like Pierre Paul and you have people like who's the great defensive guy? I think he played for the Giants. What was his name?
Straight hand.
No, not Strahan. Guy before Strahan. He was I think he was the Giants. He's a real wild guy.
Lawrence Taylor.
That's him. LT. Lawrence Taylor. And I think most teams would have been effective not trying to double him up, but to run it at him. Because instead of him coming and being on his toes, you need to put a guy on his heels. And so I think that'll be a big turnaround if they put the guy on his heels because he's not used to playing like that. He's used to playing being doubled and people running from him. But if he starts getting guys running at him, all of a sudden it's going to turn his world around. Because remember, those guys who do that rushing, if you ever notice, they aren't usually bigger than the guys that they're trying to rush around. And those guys are trying to play. They're back on their heels. If they go forward, you're going to see a different story. So that's just my take on it, what I feel they should do. And I think they're going to be hungry. I think they're going to be at home. They'll have a home crowd on their side. This should be the game they should win. They're going to have a bye week. So many of the guys, I think some going to be back. They don't have to sit around trying to worry about, man, I don't want to, exhaust myself and then I got to play another week. They can just go full throttle and, absorb the little injuries that they're going to get, put it on the line and go on and win this game and make it 6-0.
I pretty much got the same sentiment. Let's see how it's going to turn out. You have a lot of with the Eagles. You have a lot of guys that are banged up on your offensive line. Maybe Malata supposedly should be able to play, and I think Maddox hasn't played the last two games. So let's give it your all. You're fighting for first place. You're only undefeated team, and I'm just excited for this game and. Jalen's getting the attention he needs, but he wasn't happy leaving the field, and I think that's a good thing. So he's just more motivated to not only win, but win better, play better, execute better. So the coach may have gave him Wednesday off, but knowing Jalen, he's probably he's gonna do the work. He's not satisfied. So he's not satisfied, and hey, what more could you want? I want to see AJ Brown get more of the ball. He only got 3 catches on the first drive, and we got to keep everyone consistently in the game and engaged. So that's the key for me. And as far as in the sports world, Jalen's getting a lot of notoriety. He's just the topic of conversation, and we just take the good with the bad as far as my viewpoint. So let's just keep it going. What is your take on the notoriety that Jalen's getting? What is your viewpoint on it? Do you think it's are they singing a different tune, or how do you feel about it?
Well, personally, I've been saying from year one when he played at Alabama, I said he's going to win the Super Bowl. It's before he even got in the league. This before I even really started watching him playing, and it's coming to pass. Because I believe that every sense, and I watched him constantly grow. And even though in the midst of his success, the people always were just down on him. And one of the biggest turning points was when he got pulled out of a game that he really wasn't that far behind when you look at the scoring. Uh, and then to turn around the next year and playing in a big game, he played against Georgia, and most people don't realize that he was down more points when he came in the game, and then he won that game for him. And they don't know the success rate that he had and how his records of passing and running was greater than the two guys who won the Heisman Trophy after he went to their school. He succeeded their records. He broke their records. And it's always been a narrative, oh, he can't throw, he can't throw, he can't throw, he can't throw long ball, he can't shoot a short ball. That's never been true. But with like any athlete, if someone was to ask me about an athlete who's playing in college and say he's been playing 2 years, I may have my opinion, but I don't follow him. I don't know his record. And it was the same with Jalen. You got a lot of commentators who commentated, but they never really watched him. They never knew the background. They never, and so therefore, to a lot of people, they just go with the narrative. If you to tell me about a college player that's coming out about to go pro, I don't know that much about him. But I have always watched Jalen, and I told you this before. I said I never really watched college football, but when he started playing, I started watching, and I said, watch when Jalen stopped this out of college. I said I won't watch it because that's not what I do. I said I usually go for a player and not a team. So that's been with me, and what I think would be a good thing for us to do. I would like to see if we could just start a Jalen Hurts fan club in Louisiana. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's already won, but we need to just get in there. So we need to start getting some Jalen Hurts clothes, jerseys and stuff like that, hats, and getting ready to go to some of the games because this thing isn't going to be over with this year. This is just the beginning. If he goes to the Super Bowl, there's going to be games that he plays New Orleans, he's going to play Atlanta, and so if we start doing what we need to do now, even maybe next year, we can be able to go to some of those games and participate in some of that. Tell me what you think about that.
Well, that sounds well. Definitely, definitely. That sounds very interesting. And let's make it happen. Let's get to work on it. So let's also get some support from the fans out there. We're gonna need you along the way. That's very important. We're gonna need you. We're gonna need you to come out, support the same way that there's other YouTubers out there. And I don't really want to continue to go on that route, but I gotta go a place I don't want to go. Um, there has never been a consistent Jalen supporter until this season. So if you guys want to support somebody, support someone who's going to be in his corner, been in his corner, good, bad, or ugly. All this fair weather fandom and the haters, it's just time out for that. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. This is not the hub where I want to be consistently having as a debate about what he is. So that's just kind of where I stand. So just come on out and support me, support the movement because we're moving forward. And that's just kind of where I stand on it. How about yourself?
Okay, yeah, I want to take a moment. Let's see what Philly 500, I believe, is Joey Shake's got to say for Jalen. We'll dip in on their conversation for a minute. Let's see what's going on with them guys. Just give me a moment. We're going to try to tap in and see what's happening with them guys.
Hassan Reddick started as an outside linebacker in this game. They barely had him as a defensive end. They barely blitzed today. The tackling was horrible today. There was a lot of the screen game. What the hell is going on? Where was A.J. Brown that second? Where was A.J. Brown? The only dirty jersey I saw today was Devontae Smith in this whole entire game. It was just how they got prepared for this. I didn't like the coaching at all. Like just going, it was a mess today. It was a little bit of a mess. I figured going out in the second half there would have been at least something that we were going to fix. But two, and not to mention, two drive killers on top of it. Two drive killers could have scored on two other drives because of stupid penalties. One penalty and that was it. They blitzed Jalen Hurts on that third and long and that was it. Sacks came out of those two drives. I know. Trust me, like it's really good to be 5-0. And look, Jalen Hurts just had his press conference. He's like, I don't want to hear about 5-0. I clear about it. No, he shouldn't. Listen, we talked about this game all week. I was scared to death of the letdown. Right? I was scared to death, and I'm going to be honest. I feel like that it was here. That if we went through a letdown, that I feel like this was that game. It's just that we survived it and came out with the win. Like, that's how I really feel. DC for like Nick for Super Chat goes, yo, Philly 500 thoughts on, you said the Rams going to beat the Cowboys. Get ready for next Sunday. I mean, at this point in time, you Cowboy fans do understand that every week I say you're going to lose. Like,
Okay, there you go. Those were little sentiments of when the game went on. We saw a lot of things that was wrong, but the key was we won. And that makes a difference. Like I say, I'd rather take a ugly win than a pretty loss, right? You have everything going good and lose the game. We don't want that. So get ready for this week, and we'll be tapping in with you. We actually just subscribe to the channel so that we can grow, share it with somebody else, and spread the news that this is, as you say, Hurts business, right?
Curse business.
All right. So we're going to take care of Hurts business. We know it hurts so good. Go to the Facebook page and, like to say, join us as we continue to go on and watch what's going to happen. And birds of a feather do flock together.
We're out. No, you're not Denzel Washington.